Hello everyone. This week we are going to be looking at shape and we're going to be focusing primarily on recognizing 3D shapes from their 2D representations. But today we are going to be focusing partly on 2D shapes and regular and irregular polygons. So polygon is just another word for shape. So we're going to be looking at what it means for a polygon to be regular or irregular. So our keywords that we've got are polygon, regular, irregular, sides and angles. Okay, so it says here a polygon is regular when all angles are equal and all sides are equal. So that means that all the angles are the same and all of the lengths in the shape are the same length. So I've got here a selection of 2D shapes, and these are all examples of regular polygons. So all of their angles and sides are the same. So we've got here an equilateral triangle. Okay, we've got a pentagon. We've got a nonagon, so that's 9-sided shape. We've got a hexagon, 6 sides. We've got a square. Okay, so and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is an octagon. We've got a decagon here, which is 10. And we've got a heptagon here, which is 7-sided shape. So as you can see, all of their sides are equal and their angles are equal. So let's look at this one, for example. So this is our pentagon. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides that are all the same length. And then all of the angles on the inside are also equal. We can then create any irregular polygon quite easily. So if we wanted, for an example, to look again at the pentagon, so here we've got a regular pentagon, but if we wanted an irregular one, one common example is a house. So if you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously you would use a ruler, but here we've got a 5-sided shape, but you can see we've got right angles at the bottom because it's more like a square, and then we've got different sized angles at the top. So that is a pentagon, but it is an irregular pentagon. Okay, so that is the difference between regular shapes and irregular shapes. The regular polygons all have equal sides and equal angles, whereas irregular ones are not equal. One important example to recognize the difference between is a square and a rectangle. Now we know that squares and rectangles are made up of 4 right angles. So their angles are the same. So if we looked at just angles, you might want to say that a rectangle is a regular polygon. However, we know that the difference between a square and a rectangle is that the rectangle has 2 sides that are longer than the other 2. So therefore, the sides are not all equal in length. So a square is a regular shape and a rectangle is an irregular shape. We can also recognize 2D shapes that find their ways into 3D shapes. So we will be looking at how 2D shapes, different 2D shapes make up different 3D shapes. So for an example, I've got here a box of tissues, and that is a cube, okay? And I know that it's a cube because this side here is a square, this side here is also a square, this side is a square, and this side is a square, and the top and bottom are also made up of squares. So these are regular 2D shapes, and then we've got it's got 6 faces, and so it is a square on every face. All sides are made up of that 2D polygon. that regular 2D polygon, the square. Okay, so we're going to be looking today as well at how the different 2D shapes can make up different 3D shapes. So as I said, this particular shape, the cube, is made up purely of squares, and so because every single side is a square, that means that this is a regular 3D shape. Other examples could be a tetrahedron, which is a 3D triangle shape. So it's a pyramid with a triangular base at the bottom. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking at, whether different shapes, which different 2D shapes make up 3D shapes. So you're going to go and find the PowerPoint with the questions on. You're going to choose whether you do the mild, spicy or hot questions, and then you've each got some extension questions to complete as well. Once you've done that, you can then mark your work yourself using the second PowerPoint. If you feel like you need some extra assistance going over this again, then please feel free to watch the second video to just give you that extra little bit of help.